Hey, what's up, gamers? Enforcer5150 here, and we're back to do some more benchmarks. Yes, we're doing benchmarks again. We picked up a new CPU, which is the i7-14700K, and it is running really well. We're going to be running this on the RTX 4080, of course, and we're just going to go through everything in 4K. So we're going to do the extreme, and then we're going to check the DLSS for each one of those. We're not going to go into frame generation in this video. We'll go ahead and do frame generation in another. And I also want to check out some minimum ones, which I'll have that on its own video as well. This one, we just want to focus on the performance on full 4K, and then everything, just maxed out, and then bringing down the DLSS for each one. So let's go ahead and check these out. All right, so we have everything maxed out on here, and we are doing this with no DLSS. So this is just a straight native, resolution, no bells or whistles involved at all. And now we are running this through the capture card so that we're not getting any actual, system resources being used here. And what I'm doing is sending it through the capture card, and then it's being compressed down to 1440p. Because 4K on my capture card, it only does that at 30 frames per second, and that's just really annoying to actually watch. But yeah, we're running pretty well here. You can get over 100 frames per second in 4K with no extra things on there, no frame generation or anything like that, no DLSS. The native resolution is probably the best looking, obviously, but actually I've been thinking DLSS on quality has been a bit sharper. All right, so let's take a look at our end here. So we got an 88, so that's in the range of what I've been seeing, 88 to 91. I'll put the averages at the end here, but we're gonna go ahead and switch this over to DLSS and see how we stand with just regular DLSS in quality mode. Let's do that here, and so we'll have our quality. Yeah, we already have quality, so just make sure we have that. All right, let's go ahead and check this one out now. All right, so with this one, we're on quality. Now, I do want to mention when we do frame gen, this obviously not this video, but when we use frame gen, there is that latency that you might get, input lag. But most of that input lag is only noticeable at 4K, and if you're using DLSS on quality or native. If you bring it down a little bit to like balance or performance, you really don't notice it that much, but it is a lot more noticeable when you go to 4K. Now this is not bad. We're getting over 100 frames per second. It's a little bit more. We're getting the 10s, and yeah, I would say that it's definitely playable. If you have a 4K monitor that is 144, obviously you're going to want more. So when we move down the balance and see what our averages are there, I've done a bunch of these tests already, but once you start getting over the 144 range in 4K, you're doing pretty well. So as you can see, we are at 121 frames per second, and we're seeing, it is a little bit lower than I've seen. I've seen it higher than that before. So let's go ahead and set this to balance. I want to go through these really quick because I don't want this to be a long video. And I know a lot of you just want to get to the benchmark and probably don't care what the heck I'm actually saying here. But yeah, you can see our render resolution was 1440p on that one. So it's kind of like running native 1440p, which it is pretty accurate. I think when it goes down to 1080p and DLSS, it's not really as accurate. All right, so now we're on our balance mode for DLSS. A little bit the same as the regular. I really don't see much of the gain when you go to just balance from quality. So it's kind of like you're good enough to just stick at quality and just stay there. But yeah, there's been weird server latency. And I think it's because on this motherboard, it's a Wi-Fi motherboard, and I went to Wi-Fi instead of the hardwire. So I need to actually keep with my my hardwire when I can. The only reason why I actually hooked that up is because It was requiring the disk and stuff like that, so I just hooked up the hardware, and then once it installed the Wi-Fi drivers, it automatically switched to my Wi-Fi network. But yeah, the FPS here is doing very well. We're going to take a look at all these at the end as well. Let's give a little bit of comparison. All right, 135. That's maybe 10 to 15 frames per second more. We're going to go ahead and, I don't know why it's not going. All right, go to graphics. And we're going to switch this down to the next one down, which is the performance mode. And we're going to run the benchmark on that as well. All right, so performance mode. This is where you start really seeing a little bit more of the, wow, that was a really big jump down to 43 to that smoke. This is where you really start seeing, you know, the increase when you're going in 4K. Because if you have a 4K monitor and you've got one for gaming, it's likely that it's going to be one that can do 144 hertz. So getting that 100, at least over the, 144 is preferable. Yeah, I mean, the quality of everything, like, you really can't tell that much. Grass and stuff like that is where you notice the difference. Yeah, we get up to 160. That's not bad at all. Like I said before, I would like to see a little bit more performance on it, and I'm not really overclocking this. I'm letting it do its default tuning through MSI. So it's giving us, you know, the like 1.6 gigahertz. Yeah, that's not bad. So let's go ahead and switch it down. We got 100. Well, that's not right. Hold on, let's see here. Make sure everything is set. The one thing you have to worry about with this benchmark they have in here is that sometimes it won't fully take, and you have to go back to get the actual result. So 150. And you can see we're not even touching our CPU right now. It's like at 0% bottleneck, so everything is straight GPU, and it shows our average FPS is 158. That's not bad at all. All right, now for our last benchmark, we are on performance DLSS, and all the settings are still max. So it's, you know, just kind of taking the render down, and then the DLSS is, you know, just making it sharper, a little bit, you know, more tolerable to see. But yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's upscaling it right up to 4K. There's not a huge difference. I remember when DLSS first came out, the differences was really bad. Like, it was so soft that you may as well just turn your resolution down. But yeah, like there's not a big difference between the native 4K and this one, and we should take a look at that here in a moment after this one's done. But yeah, 100, we have a 190, I think was our top. That's not bad at all, man. I do like the DLSS. So 180 is our average frames per second. I very much like that. So let's just take a quick look at the DLSS between the native and this one. All right, so what we're doing here is I blocked out which one's which here. I want you just to ask yourself and be honest with yourself here. Is you're not trying to impress anybody. Which one is 4K and which one is not 4K? Now, one of them is using the DLSS, one of them is not. There's a few slight subtleties, but now this is with DLSS on ultra performance. Now, back in the day, if I would have run this little experiment, it was really, really easy to tell which one is 4K, which one was not. Like, you really can't tell too much because one of them, I mean, when you have your full native resolution, it's pretty crisp, but when you have it with the DLSS on, the performance mode is also very crisp. So which one do you think it is, the left or the right side? So if you went ahead and chose the left side, you're absolutely wrong. Actually, no, it is the left side. The left side is the full 4K without DLSS. The right side is with DLSS in ultra performance mode. And it's really hard to tell at first glance if you're just playing. You're not going to notice those small things, so getting that extra performance out of there is actually not that bad. Now we just go ahead and take a look at our FPS that we're getting on everything here. And if you look on the left side, we have DLSS off. We had a minimum of 67, an average of 88, and a max of 135. Now, as we go on to quality and balance, you can see they kind of stick around the same, and it's not really too much of a performance gain. And remember, I ran these tests 5 times in each mode just to get an average. So the 102 and 115 is an average of all 5 times, and then the middle one is obviously an average of the averages. So that's not that much of a big difference that you're getting in the quality and balance. Once you get into the performance mode, you do get a little bit more FPS over your normal. I mean, obviously, if you look at quality and balance from the DLSS off, you are gaining something. So each tier, you do gain a little bit more, but I don't see it being a real benefit going in quality or balance. If you're going to do one or the other, just stick in quality, so you get the full visual effect from it all. Now if you go over to the ultra performance, that is where you do get a lot, especially when you're looking at the DLSS off. You're gaining 100 frames per second, and this is without frame generation. This is just straight DLSS. So if you add in frame generation, you're going to get well over the 200 frames per second. So that's not bad at all. It's definitely worth checking out if you want to get a little bit more frames. If you're using a 4K monitor and you're trying to get over that 144 threshold. I don't know too many people that have the 240 4K monitors, but if you do, you want to try to get that maximum benefit out of it, and hitting up ultra performance is starting to get you there. And then maybe drop down some settings if you're on the RTX 4080 and the i7 14700K. It's going to take me a while to get used to saying 14700K, because I've been doing the 9900K. I did that one for so long, and then I did the 10900K, which was already hard enough to say that one. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Is DLSS worth it in your opinion? Do you get the actual benefit? No, we could check out the FSR, but with an NVIDIA card, I think our best bet is always going to be using the DLSS when we can. And maybe if the requests come in, we'll do one for the FSR as well. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video today. Make sure that like button, definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. Y'all take care and happy gaming.